Yuri, how about some technical analysis on Bitcoin? Welcome back once again to Cryptoticator folks. How you all doing, guys? Before we jump out of the content, guys, I have to talk about something. If you're traders in the market, if you're trading these crypto assets or any asset every single day, what we have to do is that we have to be aware about ourselves more than the market, guys. This is something which I found out to be true. Very, very, very freaking true, guys. A lot of people try to dig deep into indicators and all of these things like, order depth, order book ratios, Fibonacci ratios, moving averages, RSI, TSI, MACD, volatility, price ranges, and just infinite amount of things. But guess what, guys? Before you know all of these things, you have to know yourself, right? Because all of this data will lead to an execution that you'll finally commit to the market. If that execution is not happening in a perfect dynamic, in a well-functioning dynamic, most likely things will not go as planned. So before you figure out the market, maybe try figuring out yourself. With that said, guys, we're going to be jumping into some technical hocus pocus with Yuri as our special guest today, guys. Now, what Bitcoin is doing right here is nothing. It's absolutely doing nothing. Stop losses were taken out right here, and now it's doing absolutely nothing, guys. I mean, this is quite literally going sideways, right? This is the range that we were talking about. I mean, we're still at 58,000 zones right here, which is kind of coinciding with this entire range. Look, guys, even if I put on the VPVR, we are still range bound. Everything is telling us that Bitcoin is in a simple range bound situation with your momentum oscillators telling that everything is pointed out towards the downside. Now, essentially, the magnitude of the downside is not that great, guys. We can see from the price action right here. I mean, this is a pretty weak looking downtrend. If things were to be this volatile, it would have been crazy volatile in the first day itself, guys. Now what we're looking at is that we have been consolidating for almost about a week beneath this yellow moving average right here, and which means that, guys, look, this is essentially a consolidation. In the bigger picture, this is essentially a consolidation. I'm going to be considering this entire zone all the way until these price points. Essentially, look, guys, this is the first area of risk management for me personally. If I am thinking about my long exposure in the market, right? Let me just put this one on, guys. Let me just go into BTC, USDT on Binance. Yuri, show me your long position, Yuri. So this is a simulated long position that I have on the exchange itself, guys. And well, to be honest with you guys right here, I mean, if Bitcoin starts rolling below $50,000 and starts closing some, I don't know, guys, maybe a daily or a weekly candle below this price point right here, then maybe we can talk about risk management metrics and probably hedging the market exposure, guys. I'm not going to take a complete exit from the market as a whole. If Bitcoin loses these levels for good, most likely I'm going to be hedging my exposure in the market, right? If I'm long on Binance, I'm going to be shorting Bitcoin in a future exchange for that matter, right? So that's called hedging, guys. I'm going to be going into delta neutral stance for the market if Bitcoin loses $50,000 levels for. Okay, all right, folks. So I think not much to talk about right here, to be honest with you guys. I mean, essentially, until you're holding this price point on $58,000 levels, guys, the downside target, first of all, the downside target for $54,000 to $53,000 is still there. I mean, we are still focusing towards these levels, and we are still looking at a retest of the 111 moving average, which is sitting in at $52,000 flat. Now, whatever happens right there is going to be a big deciding factor, and essentially, I'm going to be giving this entire range a good benefit of doubt in the market, guys. These are the times when you have to be sharp about the market exposure, and you have to be vigilant about your margin exposure as well. If you are leveraged out in the market, maybe time to be a little cautious, right? A little cautious, guys. And honestly, guys, look, we had an edge in the market, and that edge was pretty much defined from your yellow projection moving average, right? We did lose this one, guys. I mean, unfortunately, we did lose this one to the downside with a good bearish engulfing candle taking out the structure low, and we're kind of proceeding to the downside. So let's just say the immediate short-term bullish trending bias is not there in the market anymore. What we can do is we can certainly expect crazy amount of chops, and we can expect the metaverse coins to keep on rolling, guys. I mean, the metaverse coins, they won't stop, right? They're just simply rolling to the upside. We're looking at Star Atlas picking up from Solana ecosystem once again. We'll talk about Solana as well in this video, guys, but let's just conclude Bitcoin right here. I mean, this bearish divergence is still playing out, and the price action is still rolling to the downside. I think we do make our way all the way towards $53,000. If we bounce from these levels, most likely this will be a retest of the $63,000 levels, which is most likely going to be a rejection in the first and the foremost pass. Until then, we can expect a continuation move all the way towards $53,000 flat on Bitcoin. So folks, plan your trade according to what Bitcoin is telling you, not what your altcoins are telling you. Although things about Ethereum are different. if you talk about Ethereum and basing your trades according to Ethereum, things will look kind of different, guys, because I don't see any problematic situation on Ethereum, to be honest with you guys right here. I mean, we did resolve this entire grind to the downside, which means that yes, Ethereum is going to get into a chop. It simply means that Ethereum will spend some time right here, guys. Ethereum will try to figure out what to do next, and I mean, essentially the market participants will try to decide where to go, right? Now, Bitcoin is kind of struggling below this projection moving average. And you can see Ethereum is kind of getting supported, guys. Ethereum is way the heck more bullish than Bitcoin itself. Holy shit. I mean, Bitcoin is kind of struggling, kind of rolling below this moving average, kind of still hovering with its 350 moving average, whereas Ethereum is kind of deviated with its 350 moving average, guys, and this one is way more bullish, right? Now also, guys, the red projection moving average is going to tell you a lot of things. Now this is on the daily time frame, and the red projection moving average is telling you that every single time you do see some choppy consolidation behavior whenever the price interacts with this red moving average, yes, you will face a lot of volatility in the market. But as far as the higher low structure stays intact, Ethereum will be fine, guys. Most likely Ethereum and most of the altcoins will be fine. But guess what? With crazy amount of volatility, right? So just to conclude right here, guys, what is this price action? It's a dip. As of now, it's looking to me like a dip. But if we lose this level to the downside, if we lose $4,000 on a daily trending basis, remember, an opening and a closing basis below $4,000 would mean that we're establishing a new trend that could potentially take Ethereum all the way towards these levels, guys. I'm going to be focusing a lot towards the yellow projection moving average, because this is something which kind of bounced Ethereum from $1,700 levels, I guess. This is where your trend started picking up in a continuation momentum to the upside. Guys, the path towards $20,000 Ethereum is not going to be that simple. It's going to be very choppy, guys. Most likely things will look very choppy, but things will happen for sure. It'll take some time, but it'll happen for sure. Okay, Solana USD, guys. Let's see what Solana is doing on FTX. Still deviated. Okay, guys, I do feel this was a dip. I think this was a good looking opportunity in the market. Yep, you can see right here, guys, this was a clear cut buying opportunity. You would have set your limit orders right around $200 levels on Solana, and right now the price action is simply going to the upside. You can refer to the previous analysis, guys. We were talking about risk management metrics on Solana, that how this entire zone is quite relevant for the price action itself, right? I'm talking about $185 levels. So until you are trending above 185 on a daily basis, everything is going to be a dip, guys. And the first and foremost, past most of the things which do interact with the lower side trend line right here is going to be a buy opportunity, right? And essentially, if you talk about the upper side zone right here, we're kind of formulating a wedge, guys. I mean, yes, we are doing that. We are kind of formulating a wedge. But in a bull market, guys, remember, these wedges, they do break out to the upside as well. I mean, won't that be freaking crazy if Solana makes it targets all the way towards these levels? Yep, it's going to be insanely crazy, guys, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and wait for the consolidation to get over. Everything is looking fine on the momentum oscillators as well. RSI had a good looking reset and a retest of 200, on the lower band right here. I mean, we had a retest of the lower side RSI at 40 reads, guys, which has been a buying opportunity, right? You can see right here, guys, the price action came down all the way towards $24 levels. I mean, I'm sure as hell this was a buying opportunity in the daily time frame. And back again, this one came down towards $24 once again. So 3 buying opportunities lined up again and again and again on your 40 reads on the RSI, guys. Now this won't mean that the price action will stop going down from these levels, but you can see right here the RSI gets oversold. Essentially this means that it's a buying opportunity on Solana as a whole, right? So guys, I'm going to be putting a lot of focus into $185 leeway regions for good. If you lose this one to the downside, then we can expect some more consolidation. We can expect some more further downside continuation all the way towards the lower side. Do we have anything to talk about? I don't think so, guys, but I think I should bring into your attention about my actions that I took in the market yesterday, guys. So what I did was that I simply took out the December position to shift that into March expiry, right? So look, guys, I mean, I'm going to be sticking to one single fact, guys. Like, let me just get into BTC USD right here. Most of my biases in the market was simply in regards to this moving average projection right here, and the way we were getting supported and we were trending alongside this moving average. Most of my bullish biases was aligning with this fact. Now we broke this one to the downside. This means that maybe Bitcoin could be more choppy than we are expecting, to be honest with you guys right here. So that means that, look, guys, maybe the December expiry would not be the best expiry date that I want for my Bitcoin long exposure in the market, which is why I took the opportunity in this dip to kind of change my position from December expiries into March expiries, right? The exposure stays the same, guys. The exposure stays to be your 5 BTC long exposure in the market, but the thing is that now we are dealing with March expiry, right? And back again, guys, I'm going to be interested in hedging the exposure once we lose $40,000 levels to the downside. That is when we start hedging our exposure in the market, right? Okay, guys, with that said, I'm going to be catching up with you folks pretty soon, most likely today evening itself, right? So let me know that in the comments. If you want a live stream session, we'll go ahead with that, right? With that said, bye for now.